Asian, I'm not trying to offend anybody. Everybody's out there, Indian, whatever it may be. But this immigration stuff keeps coming up. And we had talked about a story. There's a couple that are going on here. A while back, Obama's aunt,
Oh, right.
remember, and she was granted asylum.
Or something? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then she had applied for it during the Bush administration. She said she couldn't go back to Kenya for some reason. And normally when you're granted asylum, it's because if you go back to your country,
certain death
it's
or
certain death.
imprisonment, yeah.
And she was denied, but somehow she was still here, and now she received asylum, and it just happened to coincide with everybody talking about immigration. And I had even said, I'm telling you, this isn't going to be the end of the story.
I remember you saying
because I really don't know what her situation is, where she's claiming that if she goes home, she's basically going to be killed. That's a really large claim to make, and it should be one where you have a lot of facts to back this up. I haven't seen anything, but I knew as this immigration debate raged on that people were going to look at this and go, which, I think that's okay.
It's understandable, yeah, absolutely.
It's understandable. Well, get this, somebody is calling for an investigation. Representative Stephen King, not as
really?
No, that's Representative Steve
Misery,
King, not
really?
as in Misery, Christine, and all of that stuff. An Iowa Republican today requested that President Obama's aunt, I'm not going, actually let me try, the Zaituni Onyango.
There you go.
Zaituni Onyango.
I love how you put the accent on there, too.
You know why I did that? Because I'm probably butchering it, but if I say it with conviction, then it sounds right. You know what I'm saying? Zaituni Onyango. I'm totally doing it wrong, but it sounds like I'm doing it right.
Sounds good.
They want her to testify before the House Subcommittee on Immigration, Citizenship, Refugees, Border Security, and International Law. Oh, that was a mouthful.
Wow.
Just another organization.
I was just going to say, there's so many committees and subcommittees.
Oh, wow.
Special.
They want her to speak about how she came to be granted asylum. Found another story out there.
Now, his administration says that they weren't pulling any strings, right? That's still their take, right?
They said they weren't pulling any strings. He said that he didn't even know that she was over here. I find that very hard to believe.
You don't care about your auntie?
Sorry.
You know where your auntie was?
I find that very, very hard to believe.
She was in Kenya. They said that she would have been killed. You didn't know where she was, Barack? Come on.
Exactly. He knew where she was at.
That's all right.
Another story, Eric Balderas in Harvard University. You heard about the story?
Good for you, Eric.
Eric Balderas, full scholarship to Harvard University. He is an illegal alien. Not here legally. He was brought over here, 4 years old, became an illegal immigrant, never went through the process to become a U.S. citizen. Ends up being educated here, gets a full scholarship to Harvard. He went to go visit a family member in Florida this past weekend. He lost his Mexican passport when he was he wasn't in Florida, San Antonio.
Okay.
Lost his Mexican passport, which is how he was getting on planes or whatever. There, you can use that. Lost it. So he thought he could get on with his consulate card and his student ID to get back home. Ran into trouble. Didn't happen. Was detained for 5 hours. He's going to the immigration board or whatever it's called, another yet committee, and he's looking at being deported.
Oh, wow.
This case is going to get a lot of attention just because he is a Harvard student. Now,
and he was 4 years old when he came to this country, so he knows nothing about Mexico.
Exactly. Now, unequivocally, he's an illegal immigrant. That's not going to be the issue. They're not saying that. It's all of this other stuff that's going on. And then another thing that I found that was coming out this weekend, yet again, from Arizona.
Oh, that great state.
From Arizona.
So much trouble there, aren't there?
I learned a new term, another new term on Unfiltered this week. We've learned lots of new terms. Have you heard of anchor baby? You know what an anchor baby is?
Yeah.
I thought that anchor baby might be, I've done some sailing. You toss a baby over and it anchors it.
Whoa.
I didn't know. I thought that was a really bad. I thought that was a
really
bad thing.
It really
but
was bad.
That's what I thought. You just never know.
So it sounds like if an illegal alien has a baby here in the United States, then that baby's considered a citizen.
Right, so that's considered an anchor baby that's anchoring the family here.
Term.
So that's the term they're giving it, because if you are born at this point in time, and this is how the Constitution reads, the 14th Amendment states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. If you're born within these walls, you're considered an American citizen. So
I wonder if even if you're on vacation, like if you're coming from France and you know what, you actually have to, there's something that happens with that where you have to go get the paperwork done for that. Okay.
I think John McCain was technically born in Panama. But like military families deal with this all the time. They're stationed in Germany.
Right.
There's something that that goes on all the time.
Okay.
So there's ways around that. Now there's a bill that's coming up that's basically saying that if children are born in Arizona, then they cannot, if they're born to illegals, then they can't be considered United States citizens, which again conflicts with the 14th Amendment.
Rusty anchor.
And so I just bring these stories up. Each one of these you could debate all day and all night. But I just want to let everybody know, I mean, this issue's not over. There's no easy answers. You know what? I looked at this Harvard story. I'm going to be real honest, and I was a little bit angry. I thought, this person got a free ride to Harvard, and they weren't even a United States citizen. I found myself a little bit angry about that. I'm sitting here with $20,000 in student loans, and I've lived in the United States of America every day since blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to tell you my date of birth. And I'm still paying on my student loan. That made me kind of angry.
Good point.
Made me kind of angry. There's a lot of stuff to work through, and there's no easy answers, and it's not just left or right, or Republican or Democrat. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I want a good reason why Obama's auntie was able to get asylum so quickly. I really want the answer to that story.
Another committee convened so we can get those
I need to know about that. I need to know how...
Subcommittee.
I need to know about how, Obama, who was, hot-shotting it up to the presidency, had no idea where his auntie was. I find that very hard to believe. I mean, if I could forget where half my aunts and uncles were, that'd be a great thing, because I got some crazy ones. I tried.
Oh, I've tried.
I tried to lose track of those fools. I tried to lose track of those fools. I can't. So
they always find me.
Exactly. And find me and want some money. It's like, God damn, I just told you about my student loan. I didn't get my free ride to Harvard. So I want people to think about this. We're going to come back to the immigration issue next week.
It's not going away.
It's going to rage on and on and on. Well, wow, time flies. Time for my favorite part of the show. Let's turn this up and get something right.
What the?
Yes, perfect.
That was great.
That was great. Wow, you know what? These are all out of order. Let me just jump into this one. I'm going to tell you about another new term.
All right, we are up in the vocabulary.
Okay, anchor baby. We know what an anchor baby is. It's not when you toss, little Jane Doe on the side because you want to go, lose.
Saying that.
See, I know.
Row, throw your baby off the boat.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Has anybody ever heard of condiment crimes? Condiment crimes.
What?
Condiment crimes.
You're just making stuff up.
I am not making this up. We're going to Boise, Idaho to learn about condiment crimes. You know what condiments are?